provide support to civil society organizations around the world that do budget work. So we're a bit like a middleman here, provide support for those who work in the field, in the countries. But the very first challenge that the civil society organizations that we worked with found when they began doing budget work was that they didn't have enough budget data, and they didn't have information. And so the very first step that we thought we should do was, let's then assess how transparent, so how much budget information countries provide around the world. So this is the origin of the Open Budget Survey. So the survey, in the end, doesn't only look at access to budget information. That is one of the three pillars that we assess. And we call them three pillars of the budget accountability ecosystem, in the sense that when you think about accountability, you need different things. You cannot just be satisfied about having transparency. So we have an assessment of transparency, and I should also say that we have precise and specific definitions of transparency. And in this particular context, we mean that governments need to provide to the public and freely 8 key budget documents that need to be published and produced during the budget cycle, as per what good practices suggest. And they have to do this in a timely manner and in a complete and comprehensive manner. So that's how we define transparency for this survey. The second aspect that we look at is whether there are spaces for the citizens to engage in the budget process. So are there spaces throughout the budget cycle, so in the budget, during budget formulation, during the budget approval, during implementation and audit. So do the different institutions provide spaces and information to allow citizens to engage? And the third thing that we look at is whether the formal oversight institutions, such as the Supreme Audit Institution and the Parliament, have their sufficient independence and strength and resources to exercise their mandate. Because all three elements are essential. The survey is independent, and as I said, the IBP is a civil society organization, and we work with civil society organizations around the world to complete the survey. So there is one researcher that does that in each of the countries, or one research organization that does that. It is a comparable exercise because we collect data across countries and up to a specific point in time during the research. So we allow comparability across countries and then across time, because we've done this exercise 5 times. So we have, for some countries, not all 102, but for 40 countries that have comparable data for since 2006. We do it every 2 years, and this is because it takes quite a bit of time to work on the accuracy of the information and to collect the information and to present all the publication, to prepare all the publications that we want to present. And a very important point that I also want to make is that the survey is based on a questionnaire that has indicators, and the indicators are based on international grid standards of what fiscal transparency is. And here I mentioned the IMF, so the Code of Fiscal Transparency, and the OECD best practices on budgeting. And then the INTOSA as well, which is the International Organization of Supreme Audit Institutions, and the Lima Declaration specifically. So the research process is quite simple, but it has a number of steps that we want to go through to ensure accuracy, or as much as possible accuracy, in the data collection and the data review. And so the first step, as I said, is that you have one research organization in each country that completes the survey. Then the IOP staff, there's about 10 of us in the team, review every answer that the researchers provide in each country. So there's 102 questionnaires that we review. And then we have a moment of external review. So we have an external, that we call peer reviewer, that takes a look at the questionnaire and provides comments to that. And at the same time, we also provide the opportunity to the government, and in particular, I refer to the Ministry of Finance because the Ministry of Finance is really what the institution that is put on the spot mostly here, because most of the documents that we talk about need to be produced and published by the Ministry of Finance. But we gave them the opportunity to write comments to the draft of the questionnaire that we complete. Sometimes they take